Hello everyone, I am Chris Williams and welcome to yet another review. This time we're going to review Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. This was a pretty good movie. It was definitely better than some of the other Marvel movies that have come out lately, namely Captain Marvel, and I enjoyed it quite a bit more than I'd say Ant-Man and the Wasp. The movie stars Miles Morales, who has just become Spider-Man as in his universe. The night that his universe's Spider-Man, Peter Parker, dies at the hands of the Kingpin. The Kingpin is planning to use an interdimensional transport device to help him. And when he does, it causes all these catastrophic things. And it inadvertently causes a radioactive spider to cross over from another dimension and bite Miles Morales. Which not only does it imbue Miles with the powers of Spider-Man, it also gives him other powers, which pretty much make him a little more powerful than Spider-Man. They're trying to say him different. Well, you can't really say he's Spider-Man if he's so different from the original. Not because he's black, but because they insist on giving him the power of invisibility as well as energy blasts, much like Spider-Woman's, Jessica Drew's, powers. Miles has a father who hates Spider-Man, and he has an uncle who has a secret that you will learn later on. Miles, because he has a tough life, he goes to where his uncle and him had painted a mural, and inadvertently causes him to meet his universe's Spider-Man on the night he dies, and the night he gets the powers of Spider-Man, at the Kingpin's base. In doing so, he becomes a marked man by the Kingpin, who sends the Prowler out to kill him. And days go by, and he learns that he has gained powers. He ends up clinging to things. And I'm not quite sure, but apparently in this universe, Peter Parker's identity is publicly known, because apparently he's known in the comic books. The Kingpin in this universe is also different, because apparently he has superpowers. Because he's strong enough to lift up and throw a car, and go to toe-to-toe with Spider-Man in hand-to-hand combat. It is really quite something to see, even though Kingpin's design leaves something to be desired. He looks far too strange. Later on, Miles Morales meets other Spider people, including Gwen Stacy, who goes by Spider-Woman, but she's also known in out-of-universe as Spider-Gwen. He meets her in school, because she's going to school because she had been sucked into his universe against her will. And she's trying to learn how to get back to her own universe and trying to see what's going on. He also meets a Peter Parker from another universe who teaches him how to be Spider-Man. This Spider-Man is a bit older than his universe's Spider-Man, in his late 30s. He has gray hairs. He's broken up with his wife. They're still married but separated. But eventually, all three of them meet each other, and the two more experienced superheroes teach Miles how to be a true hero. Throughout this, Miles is not sure of himself and not too terribly happy at what is happening to him, but he would like to be a hero because if he doesn't, he knows the Kingpin will most likely cause a disaster which will end his world. He has seen it. He has to use this drive, this little flash drive, to shut down the Kingpin's computers so they can shut down the interdimensional device and send the other Spider-Men home. Later on, other Spider-Men also arrive. Movie Neor Spider-Man, I guess, Spider-Pig, and a little girl, Japanese girl, who pilots a spider robot. This has all thanks to do the original to the original Spiderverse. But in that, the Japanese person was a man who piloted a giant robot, not a robot the size of a person. And throughout the movie, the Spider-Man is learning from Peter Parker, the Spider-Man from another universe. They go on a mission to steal a new flash drive because the original flash drive they had got destroyed. So they end up meeting this universe's Dr. Octopus, who happens to be a woman. So I will refer to her as Lady Dr. Octopus. So there won't be any inconveniences here. Spider-Man and him fight her, and they manage to escape, where they end up running into Spider-Woman, in which starts their friendship. Later on, they meet the other Spider-Man at Aunt May's house in Spider-Man's secret in that universe's Spider-Man's secret base. And the artwork in this movie is very good. It deserves to win the Best Animated Movie of the Year award. Well, and after that, in saying that, but there are a few problems with the animation, or at least the character design. Kingpin, it doesn't look all that great. Other characters like Scorpion, yeah, he doesn't look so good. His design could be better. They turned him into a cyborg. Peter Spider-Pig is decent, but he's very cartoony and stuff. But throughout the movie, he only shows up only pretty much halfway through the movie, so we don't get to see him. He takes up, him and the other Spider people take up the other half of the movie, but they really should have had all of them in earlier, instead of just having these parts where they stop the movie to explain who this character is. It kind of brings everything to a stop. The funny part about this movie is that Miles spends a good portion of the movie in a Halloween Spider-Man costume, while he learns from the other heroes how to be the new Spider-Man. Considering it doesn't even have gloves, it's amazing that he still has a secret identity. And all of them here are about to go and fight the Kingpin, but when they do that, they leave Miles behind because he doesn't know how to use his powers. And Peter Parker from the other universe was going to sacrifice him to stop Kingpin, because if they stay in this universe, they're going to die because their bodies are falling apart. But later on, Miles not only learns to use his powers by believing in himself because of what happened to his uncle, who turns out to be the Prowler. But because the Prowler couldn't kill him, Kingpin kills him anyway. Miles holds his uncle as he dies and has to run away from his father, who's a police officer, because he thinks he killed the Prowler, his own uncle. After he learns to believe in himself, he learns to control his powers. He later on goes back to the Spider-Man secret base and makes himself a new costume. And he goes out to face the Kingpin and send all the Spider-Men home. Peter Parker was going to sacrifice himself, but Miles convinces him to go home because he still has a chance at life. He doesn't have to die there, even though it would leave Miles to face the Kingpin. Gwen, even though she has feelings for Miles, still has to go back because if she stays, she dies. But she sends him a fond farewell before diving back into her own universe, and all the other Spider-Men follow her. Even if you call Spider-Pig a man. It is a good movie. It has great animation, if some of the characters you don't really like how they design. Peter Parker from the other universe is funny. He's just this sort of almost grouchy older man who's seen so much, who's lived his life and has lived and loved and lost. He goes back, and you really hope him and MJ, Mary Jane Watson Parker, are able to renew their vows and get their life back in order. You see an ending, epilogue, where he actually goes out to ask her out again. Miles is celebrated by the city and is really renowned as a great man, as the new Spider-Man. And that's how the movie ends, after they stop the Kingpin. If you like this video, subscribe, leave a like, and leave comments down below. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.